Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. President Buhari concludes visit to Ghana, gives assurances of a new cabinet for September. Compliance with the Treasury single account is mandatory as ministries and agencies get 5 working days to comply. Serap petitions federal government, demands a probe into the Abacha loot and the involvement of the World Bank. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel says Germany to speed up asylum procedures and build extra shelter for migrants. All our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. And we do urge you to please interact with the Eyewitness feature in the Channels app on the Android, iOS and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Now let's look at some reports that you sent in from across the nation. We begin with this set of pictures from Osu-Ife Expressway in Osun State, showing people who our reporter says are commuters protesting an alleged non-intervention by security operatives during an armed robbery operation for over 9 hours on that road. From Agbara in Ogun State comes our next report, showing an overloaded bus. Our Eyewitness reporter says the bus was seen driving past a checkpoint. He says overloaded vehicles are a regular sight on that road. Our next report is from Ogoja in Cross River State, showing a wooden bridge in bad shape. Our reporter says the contract for the bridge's rehabilitation has been awarded severally without any progress. He's asking the Cross River State government to build the bridge, which he describes as a death trap to motorists and pedestrians alike. And finally is this photo of floods taking over the premises of Warri South Customary Court in Delta State. Our reporter says legal activities could not go on in the court as a result of the flood. He wants the government to do something about the case of repeated floods in that state. And we thank you for sending in those reports. Please note that you too can join our League of Reporters. All you have to do is download Channels Television free apps from their respective stores. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, is in the process of recovering over $7 billion, being over-deduction from tax benefits from major partners of the NNPC. In a report submitted to the President today, the Group Managing Director of the company, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, said this is part of the measurement and benchmarking process promised when he assumed office as the helmsman of the NNPC. In addition, the NNPC boss says that a reputable accounting firm has been engaged by the NNPC to ascertain the exact amount due to government on the strategic alliance contracts entered by a subsidiary of the corporation, where up to $2.46 billion of government's money is to be recovered. The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, has given reasons why he believes Nigeria's civil service has been declining over the years. He blames it on the inability of successive administrations to clearly articulate a vision and develop the required capacity to implement various components of the vision. Vice President Osinbajo was speaking at the launch of capacity building programs for public servants at the old banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja.
The technical competencies that the Smart P and Lead P programs aim to strengthen, namely leadership, strategic planning, strategic communications, financial management, and program management, must be learned with these contexts and paradigms in mind. What are the strategic and financial planning initiatives important in a strong private sector-led economy with a robust social protection system for the poor majority? What are the crucial communications to make to the people in a season requiring sacrifice and perseverance on account of falling revenues? Or for that matter, how do we communicate the position that our anti-corruption, zero-tolerance stand is not merely a moral or ethical stand, but a developmental construct that recognizes that corruption, if not apprehended, will destroy all institutions, the economy, and eventually our society. Put differently, that how we handle corruption will make or mar our destiny as a nation. How do we communicate that? Today, our nation stands again on the threshold of a great future, if we desire it badly enough to fight for it. The Federal Civil Service are the foot soldiers in our march to our great destiny. An army cannot afford indiscipline, inefficiency, lack of capacity, lack of focus, especially because the hopes and aspirations of a whole society, a whole generation, rest on your shoulders. I trust that you will not fail the Nigerian people.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has assured residents of Kogi State that everything is set for the conduct of a free, fair and credible election come November 21st. The State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Hussein Halilu Pai, disclosed this after an assessment tour of the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise in the state.
The governorship election in Kogi State is several weeks away, and all concern appears to be preparing optimally for the exercise. The continuous voter registration process is on at various centers to accommodate those who have not been registered and those who have not collected their permanent voter cards. INEC Director of Voter Registration from Abuja, along with his team, are here in Kogi State to assess the progress.
This is a window for people that didn't register before, and this is also a window for people, citizens that have turned 18. And so it's not a massive kind of registration that we did before. So what I see is fine. What I see is satisfactory. The citizens are responding.
At the Kotokafi local government area, electors stand in queue to register and obtain their permanent voter cards.
We have a challenge of underage registrant, but we used to push them away politely. We ask them, if you claim you are up to 18, we ask you to present your birth certificate so that you clarify us to prove it to us that you are up to 18 years and you will be eligible to vote so that we registered you.
The team also visits Lokoja local government area to see the progress of registration there. A large turnout of people here, and some of them are asking for the extension of the exercise.
There should be extension of date, recruitment of manpower, and changing of system.
If they want us to cast our vote, to exercise our right as the civil citizen of this country, I think there should be an extension of this a week.
The Commission will also have to decide whether to hear the call of the people for an extension of the date for the registration exercise.
Still on politics, Governor Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State has called 8 more witnesses at the State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal to testify in support of his victory at the last general elections. At the resumed hearing of the petition, a witness of the People's Democratic Party in the disputed governorship election, Inemesit Itina, said the election was peacefully conducted in all local government areas of the state, including Etinan local government area where he voted.
Governor Emmanuel Udom and his party, the People's Democratic Party, has called 8 more witnesses at the Akwa Ibom Governorship Election Petition Tribunal to prove his victory at the polls. The witnesses claimed that the election process was free, fair, and in compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2010, contrary to claims by the petitioner. One of the witnesses, Inemesit, who was the People's Democratic Party PDP's ward coalition agent for Ikodosong Northern Imam Ward 1 in Etinan local government area, told the tribunal that INEC conducted peaceful election in all parts of the state. Under cross-examination by a lawyer to the APC, Solomon Umor, the witness insists that accreditation of voters was duly conducted by INEC. before the commencement of voting, and PDP won massively.
It's the trend of the evidence. The evidence has been consistent that there was election across the state and that people voted massively for PDP. More importantly, they also said that they have been voting PDP since 1998. That it has always been massive votes for PDP since the year 1998, and they have been consistent along that line. So that seems to be the trend in that state.
Counsel to the APC, Solomon Umor, says the PDP's claims of winning election in Akwa Ibom State will be tested by verdict of the tribunal.
That is a matter for the court to decide. It is not for us at this stage to give insinuations or make remarks outside the courtroom. But I can tell you for free that it is true that PDP was winning election from 1999 until 2015. So anything can happen.
Further hearing of the suit continues on Tuesday as the People's Democratic Party says it has more witnesses to call to prove its case of winning the governorship elections.
When the news at 10 returns, World Bank ranks Nigeria 170th among 189 countries on the ease of doing business. That's on Business News. Do join us again.